We know from talking to Peter, they're expecting a slightly different Klitschko.
Yeah, and I think, well, he can't be any worse than he was in the first fight, even if Tyson does the same thing. I think he has to be more aggressive. Otherwise, it's exactly the same result, in exactly the same pattern. So, you would expect that Klitschko's going to close the gap quicker and earlier in the rounds and try and land that right hand.
Now, Steve Lillis told us 3 weeks ago when he was out there in Holland, briefly went out for a day. Paul Middleton, the filmmaker there, went out for a couple of weeks, I think, with a cameraman. But Steve Lillis said, forget all that rubbish about fat belly. He's in great shape, and we can see that. You've only got to look at the shape he's in. He's in terrific shape.
What he is, and what he never will be, is cut up.
Yeah.
Because he's athletic. The way he moves...
That's about as cut as I've ever seen him, I've got to be honest with you,
he's
Barry.
in tremendous shape. And if he's full of muscle, he loses that agility that he has. So he needs to be athletically built, but smooth, but in shape. He needs to be in shape. And he's down to weight now. I think he was close to 18 stone, maybe now.
Just under 19 or something.
Which is great. Which is great right now. It's a perfect weight because he needs to be still heavy enough to push Klitschko back, but light enough to be mobile for 12 rounds, which is what his game is, what he's good at, is that movement.
And I think they're getting down to a slightly lighter weight to train up, which I don't think they did in November for the fight in Dusseldorf. I think him and Peter are taking this incredibly seriously.
Of course they are, because they're boxing the guy who owned the heavyweight championship of the world for so long. So even though they beat him the first time, it's no foregone conclusion they'll beat him again. No. There's still a lot of people think that if Vladimir turns up this time, he beats Tyson. Listen, I thought he was going to beat Tyson the first time. It was a shock for me. People don't go with shock in the world. That was the biggest shock that I've seen in boxing last year.
Well, Vladimir will not call it the rematch. He calls it revenge. It's that simple. Let me just give you a couple of Vlad stats, just to say this is the man we're dealing with. We're dealing here with a modern boxing legend. 16 years of world heavyweight title fights, okay? Live gates of 50,000 plus a dozen times. Regularly getting nearly 20 million viewers in Germany. 28 world title fights, just 3 defeats. One of those avenged, and he claims this will be avenged. 19 stoppages in his 25 world title wins. That's not a good heavyweight. That's not a decent heavyweight. That's a great heavyweight.
That's a Hall of Fame heavyweight, because to be a Hall of Fame fighter, you need to be very good, obviously, but you need to be able to prove that you can last the test of time and defend your title and keep it for a good period of time, and he's done that.